Yo, what's going on, my people? Hopefully everyone is doing well. I had done a live session on this yesterday. However, I forgot to hit the record button, so I wasn't able to get some of the live interactions that we had during the session. So I figured I'll just do this presentation over and just record it and just kind of have it for people to come back to and, get some tips and tricks on how to develop a trading plan and what news events and etc. So I mean, but we did have a pretty good interesting conversation on this specific topic. And so the question is, do you have a trading plan? And if you don't have a trading plan, I highly suggest you develop a trading plan. It is very crucial to your trading journey, whether you're in forex, whether you're in crypto, or stocks. I don't know why I had a little brain fart there, but but anyway, let's get straight into it. I'm not gonna hold you guys long. This is not gonna be a long video. So anyone who knows me, my name is Armand Mayberry, also known as Ills, ILLS. Anyone who knows me, they know that I like to start off every presentation with a quote. And so this quote for this session is: a trading plan is just words until you act on it. So with that being said, please guys, when you develop um a plan, a trading plan, understand that this has to be taken serious. This is not just something you say that you're gonna do and you kind of half do it and not do it all the way. Like, no. I'm gonna tell you right now, the market spends tons of money and energy into plans to take your money, and so you need to do the same. You need to plan to take their money, and the only way to do that is by having a trading plan. So again, a trading plan is just words until you act on it. So I expect that you guys develop a plan and you act on it 100% all the way through. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you can have a great analysis, but if you don't plan, you're planning to fail. And that is the absolute truth. I know a lot of great traders who have great analysis, who typically projects the market, you know, very accurately. However, they're always missing good entries and good exits, and that's because they don't have a plan. They're bouncing around from pairs to pairs like they don't have a plan. They don't know what they're going to do. They're just trading just to trade to make money. And I get it. But you guys have to understand, in order to find success in this market, you have to be consistent. And the only way to be consistent is by you planning to be consistent. And that's the only way, guys. I don't know any other way to put it. But anyway, what should be included in a trading plan? For starters, you should have a goal. So for all my people who are new, um, learning, your trading plan will be learning. You know what I'm saying? You'll spend a lot of your time learning, not necessarily trading. But for all my seasoned traders, you should have a goal. And that goal can be a set amount of money that you want to make on a weekly basis, or it can be, using a new strategy that you just learned or something. Or it can simply just be learning in general, but you want to have a goal. What are you looking to gain? What is your trading plan? It doesn't trade a trading plan doesn't mean that you're taking trades. It can be your learning, it can be your money, it could be anything, guys. Understand that, but it's just whatever work that you're doing, it's based around trading. And then after that, you want to know what times you are going to trade or study. And then you want to also know how many rules you need to see before entering a trade. You want to know what time frames you're going to use. You need to have an exit strategy. It's one thing to plan on taking a trade or taking a trade, but you also need to have an exit strategy. You need to plan on exiting if things go in the wrong direction. And then you need to ask yourself, what are you willing to risk? And then, all in all, I mean, the most important thing, in my opinion, is journaling all of your trades and your analysis. So we're gonna dig a little deeper into what some of this stuff means. But overall, I think this is real simple. This should be real easy to digest, guys. It's not hard. It's not crazy. Like, I feel like people make this stuff harder than what it needs to be. So, step one, identify the sessions you will be trading. Real simple. I don't feel like I need to go into details about this, but yeah, identify the time. What is your schedule? You know, you have a schedule for your job, right? You have a schedule on other things or your business, right? So you need to have a trading schedule. When are you going to be trading? You know, what times are you going to be looking at the market? So that's step one. Step two, identify the pairs you are going to be analyzing for the week. Me, I typically analyze about 18 pairs and probably take about 2 to 3 good trades out of that 18 pairs. But I like to identify all of the pairs that I'm going to be trading for the week. One, this helps me narrow down my news fundamentals. Two, it helps me find more success in my trades because I'm focused on a specific group of pairs and not necessarily just bouncing around from pair to pair to pair to pair to pair looking for setups. You know, even though I analyze a lot of pairs, but I'm not bouncing around them. I'm familiar with these pairs, and so I'm not just going to random pairs that wasn't in my plan, you know, looking for trade opportunities. So step two, identify the pairs you're analyzing for the week. That's what I would say. Once you do that, the news will help you out. It will narrow down your news fundamentals. And again, you'll find success in your trades. Trust me. Step three, find a trading strategy. I don't know why I feel like I need to say this, but it's the absolute truth. And believe it or not, it's a lot of traders that just trade and they don't have rules to the way that they trade. They're just out here just taking trades off strictly technical analysis, and that's fine, guys. There's nothing wrong with technical analysis. But what I often tell a lot of people is that, 80% of this business is strictly based on psychology. 20% of this business is based on understanding the technicals and being able to apply it. So with that being said, you need to have a strategy with rules because if you have a strategy with rules, um, hopefully your rules are things that you can point out on the charts and identify, and these things will give you confidence and give you proof that it will give you consistent, accurate trades. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, use a strategy with rules. Before you take any trades, you must apply your strategy rules. And I can't tell you how many traders who are dedicated to mastering forex that fail just because they don't have rules to their strategy. And I gotta tell you, follow all of your rules. A lot of the times traders fail, it's either because of greed or they didn't see something on the charts or they simply didn't follow all of their rules to their trading plan. That's it. But if you're applying all of the rules, I mean, and sometimes the market just does what it does, but all in all, a lot of the times people are just not following the rules to their strategy or they're just simply being greedy or they didn't see something. So with that being said, I don't know how a lot of you guys are learning. Some of you guys may be learning from an academy like IML, Blue Capital, but I highly suggest you guys find a strategy, you know, find a mentor or partner with other traders and get some kind of structure, but develop some rules to your trading strategy. That's all I would say. And then no, I didn't, I said step four, but look, um, keep in mind your strategy should include risk management. So as you're developing your strategy, make sure you're including risk management in that. How much should you risk? And then step four, build your exit plan. And your exit plan can include things such as setting a reasonable take profit, stop loss. It can be candlestick patterns. It can be chart patterns. It can be checking smaller time frames. You know what I'm saying? So, when it comes to checking smaller time frames, I mean, you may have, like, for example, you may have a big, nice M formation, also known as a double top. Um, Sometimes, that double top can go long. Typically, when it comes to double tops or M formations, you want to short them, but sometimes they may go long, depending on the size of it. And it's like, what happened? So, but if you would have checked the smaller time frame, you probably would have been able to see that move. And sometimes chart patterns, double tops, head and shoulders, things like that will give you indication. Same thing with candlestick patterns. Those are like signals that would help you project what the next couple of moves are going to be. So it's real simple. It's not. Don't overthink it, guys. But I would definitely say set a reasonable stop loss, take profit, don't go overboard, and do some research on your candlestick patterns, your chart patterns, and get in the habit of looking at smaller time frames. You know, that would kind of give you some kind of indication on what's to occur next. So step 5, check the news. Understand the news is what drives the Forex market. You should trade news. No, no, no. Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. It's late. So if I'm kind of messing up on some of the points that I'm making on this presentation, please forgive your boy. I'm super tired. The London session just like got popping like about 2 hours ago. So I decided to do this video because I was up. But anyway, the question is, a lot of people always ask, should you trade news? And in my opinion, I would suggest to stay away from red news for an hour or two before the news is active, and an hour or two after it ends. Um, that would be my only suggestion. Some people stay away from it, period. It really depends on the type of news event that it is. But the types of news events I think you guys should focus on, and these are just a small amount. This is not all of them, but these are some of the ones that happen on a monthly basis, like interest rates, decisions, retail, sales, inflation, unemployment, industrial, etc. So these are a few news events that you guys can kind of like keep an eye on. And one thing I would say is when it comes to news is that I do. You know, I believe last week in gold, man, gold, just the US dollar, like was, in it for, if I'm not mistaken, it went up. The US dollar went up, man. And so any pairs, like for example, gold went down last week, yo. It was crashing. That's what it felt like. And I know a lot of people were in that. And it was a news event that had caught us off guard. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was FOMC. It was a FOMC news event that had occurred at 11 o'clock a.m. in Phoenix, Arizona time. Um, and man, if you were in that, yo, that news event got you. So with that being said, the point that I'm trying to make is that, like, yo, write some of these news events that occur, or like if you see aggressive moves from certain news events, make note of those news events so that way you can track it for next month, just to see how the market reacts to it again. So that's one thing I would suggest as a way of getting familiar with what happens with news events. So again, here's some news. um Here are some news events that occur in the market monthly that I think you guys should look at. So hopefully that was straight to the point. I don't really know. I can go on a rant sometimes, guys, but forgive me. But anyway, all in all, in my opinion, news is an excuse for the market makers to manipulate the market. So if you don't know, now you know the market is manipulated. I think you guys should all know that the market is manipulated. And I don't feel like I need to say this, but at the same time I do, because when I first started off in this journey, I wasn't taught that the market was manipulated. I was pretty much taught that, like, hey, you can make a lot of money off of this stuff, and that's just what it is. But it's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes. And like I said earlier, news events is what drives the market. And simply based off the news events, the market makers or the powers to be, the people who manipulate the market, they will use news events as a way to get you to go in a certain direction. That is a part of their plan. They give you all of the technicals when it comes to support resistance lines. Like, think about all of the knowledge that you gain about trading. They gave you those things, and they also gave you news analysis and things like that. They gave you all of those things. So they're going to try their best to use it against you. So with that being said, news is simply just a tool and a weapon that the market makers use as a way to manipulate the market and to get you to go in the wrong direction. So don't get overwhelmed. I'm not too big on news, but I think it's definitely something worth looking into in your free time whenever you're on Forex or whenever you see aggressive moves caused by news events. I think it will be something just for you to know in the future. You know what I'm saying? Just something extra to study. But overall, make sure you guys are putting in that work on them charts. And so here are some resources on news events. So I suggest, I'm sure you guys know about some of these already. Forex Factory is one of them. My FX Book is another. FXStreet.com is another. Bloomberg.com. These are some news events. These are some resources to news events. So if you want to find out what news is gonna be happening for the week, check into some of these news platforms that I listed. There's a lot more than just this, but the one that I use primarily is Forex Factory. I get the news for the week, and I go to work. You know what I'm saying? Some people use FX Book, FX Street, Bloomberg, all of that stuff, but um, don't be afraid to, use these resources to help you along your trading journey and developing your trading plan. And with that being said, things you should. Oh, I messed up on this slide. Ain't no one tell me things you should throughout. ah, things you should do throughout your trading plan. I don't know what I was thinking. I feel so embarrassed now. But anyway, what I was trying to say in this slide is things you should do throughout your trading plan. Which is keep your chart markups updated, for one. Make sure you journal all of your trades and analysis. Check the charts every day if you can, especially if you're new, and make sure you're mentally and physically prepared. That is very, 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 very important, man. I can't tell you guys. Like I said, this is 80% of this business is psychology and 20% of it is technicals. So with that being said, you want to make sure you're in a good headspace when you're trading. You don't want to be sad. You don't want to be mad. You want to be in a good headspace, man. And if you're new, like I said, you want to check those charts. Like I tell a lot of my friends and some of the students that I teach, uh, like, yo, make the charts your TV. Why you missing a day? Like, you want to make that 10K in a day, you want to make that 20K in a day. Like, why are you not putting in more time? Like, you'd rather sit around and watch Hulu and eat and stuff like that and work your job. You'd rather give your job way more time and energy than, you know, putting that same amount of time and energy into the charts. So if you want this stuff to really work for you, you're gonna put in the time, especially if you're new. But if you season and you're making your money, I mean, you can take a few days off. Wouldn't hurt, right? And when it comes to analysis, like I said earlier, I analyze about 18 pairs or more. And it's not always 18, but I don't, and keep in mind, I don't trade all of those pairs. I simply just stock all of those pairs to see which ones have the best setups, and I simply trade the best setups. And so, yeah, and what I like to do in the beginning of the week, the pairs that I didn't trade, what I would do is pretty much see what did I write down to my analysis on that overall you know pair or whatever. My overall analysis on that specific pair that I didn't trade or pairs. I would simply just compare what I wrote to what actually happened in the market. So if I said this is going to be a bullish trend, point, then I would validate that. Did it do exactly as it did? But overall, doing this technique will definitely help you identify um your street your strengths and weaknesses. So keep that in mind. And then I don't really feel like I need to say this, but it's just common sense. But keep your chart markups updated, please, 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 please do it. So, I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. Like, I don't really have anything else to say. This last slide was pretty much for us to have a discussion and to kind of bounce ideas from one another. Um, but since there's no one in this call, this is just a recording. um, I don't, we won't be having that conversation. But anyway, for the people that are watching this, we're gonna be having these sessions a lot more often, every Sunday, and I figured it would be dope for us to all just to connect and you know discuss trading topics, whether it's crypto stocks, whatever it is, but just trading topics. And what we're currently doing is building a community of traders, where we can all learn from one another and bounce ideas from one another. You know what I'm saying? So it's just really starting a big trading community. We're not selling anything. We simply just a group of people who like to trade. And we got some beginners, we got some experienced folks. So I think it's gonna be real fun. And so next week's conversation is when should you go live? So when should you go live? So that's going to be a conversation for next week. I'm excited for that one because everyone has a different perspective on it. Some people go live like what what, like in 3 months, a month. Like some people wait a year or two before they actually go live. So it all depends, and I'm sure a lot of people are gonna have their own opinion towards it. So it'll be a really great conversation. But I highly suggest you guys tune in. We're gonna be having a lot of topics. So with that being said, I hope y'all stay smooth, stay up, man, stay committed, put in that work on these charts, man. Keep going, keep going, keep going. I can't tell y'all I'm telling y'all, the more work you put in, the more you're gonna see in the future. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, y'all take it easy. Peace and love. Thanks for watching. Peace.